Hey friends, welcome to Ghosh for AI. I'm Sharnan the Ghosh. Today here I will tell you how to set up your machine for working with machine learning projects. Now normally two kinds of people would need to work with machine learning projects. One who is working in an industry and needs to build application based on machine learning, and the second who is probably doing some academic research work. Now since I'm an academic researcher myself, that is the angle I will talk about. Now, many students who are just starting their research life might be still working in Windows. I would ask them to shift to a Unix or Linux-based operating system. I have myself found that Windows can be annoying sometimes. It can come in the way of installing new softwares or give you errors which are really annoying and which is very unnecessary. But Linux, on the other end, is much easier to work with if you're a developer. You will be working a lot in the command line, and so I'm sure you will get used to Linux. I've seen many people who are scared to shift to Linux because they think, oh no, Linux is very complicated. But it's not that. It's just like Windows. It has a nice graphical user interface, especially with the newer versions of Ubuntu. It's a very good graphical user interface. So that won't be a problem. Secondly, if you want to work with deep learning specifically, then I would recommend that you get a good graphics card. I will make another video about how to choose a graphics card for your deep learning projects. But right now here I have a GTX 1080. I've also made another video on how to install the driver for your graphics card on the Linux operating system. Please check out that video. I will put a link in the description below. Now, for the softwares that we'll need to do our work, one is the programming language itself. So here, I'm sure you're common. It's very common to use languages like C or Java, but for academic research, it is not good to have a lot of headache regarding the language itself. Rather, we should focus on the algorithms that we try to build. So the go-to programming language has become Python. These days, Python is in almost every kind of data science-based projects. It's used in every kind of data science-based projects. Um, Now, Python alone is just a programming language. To work with data science-based problems, you have to use a lot of APIs, and many APIs, like when you will download the APIs, you will see there are a lot of dependency involved in between. To avoid all those kind of troubles, it's better to use Anaconda. Now, Anaconda is a bundle of libraries in Python. It is maintained in a way that there is no problems regarding dependencies. Now I'll show you how to install Anaconda in your system first. And for that, I will take you to the website of Anaconda itself. As I said, I can only give you the commands to install the softwares, but that way you won't be getting in the habit of searching for solutions yourself. As I've said in my other video, that this is what I promote, that you should go deep into the internet and search for solutions to the problems yourself and not depend just on other people. So to download Anaconda, let's start with simply writing Anaconda. And probably something about a snake will come up. And yes, there are some film series, there are Anaconda babies and some images of Anaconda. Of course, it's normal, but this is what you want. This is the website which gives you the bundle of all those Python libraries. It's pretty much in the top. Now that we are here, you can go through the website and see what kind of things that they provide. So here, download Anaconda. It's pretty simple. We go to download, and this is the version that you need to download, the Python 3.6 version. It's the latest Python version. So once you download this, we can move on to the next phase. In the meantime, you can also check what kind of things that they provide. So if you see the product category, you will see that They provide a Anaconda Navigator, which is like a graphical user interface for handling all the packages. There is Anaconda project, which can keep track of what you're doing or organize your project. And then there is all these beautiful data science libraries. I'm sure you will be using a lot of them in the coming few years. Like if you're new into research projects, in the next few years, you are going to learn a lot of these libraries. So now let's get into the installation part. So if you have downloaded the file, yeah, this file, then we can you can install them by a simple command, or you can also search for the instruction like how to install Anaconda. Instructions are normally always available in the internet. You just have to look for them. So if you're installing on Linux, you can check for the integrity of the downloaded file using the MD5 sum. And to install, this is what you have to use the bash command followed by the path of the downloaded file. Now it's downloaded as a sh file or a shell script, and we'll go to the download sections now. So I think I have downloaded it here. Yeah, this is the Anaconda sh file that we need to work with. Yeah, this is the file. So right now it's using Anaconda 3. By 3 it means the Python 3 version, and 5.1.0 is the version of the Anaconda itself. To install that, let's open a terminal. You can open a terminal using here, or you can even right click here and open in terminal. In that way you will already be in the directory itself. Now all we have to do is bash and then the file name. So tab and enter. So it says, welcome to Anaconda 3 5.1. In order to continue with the installation process, please review the license agreement and press enter to continue. So enter, and you will read all the license agreement if you want to. I will probably just skip and set set. It's like arguing with your wife. You just need to say yes at the end. So now it asks for the default location of installing all the files. So the default location is home Swarnendu Anaconda 3. That's directory, like inside home. There will be a directory called Anaconda 3. Inside that, all the files will be there. Now, if you want to change the location, you can type the new location here. But right now, I'm satisfied with that, so I will just press enter to confirm the location, and that will begin the installation procedure. And we have to wait a bit for the installation to finish, and I'll resume after the completion. Okay, the installation seems to have almost reached the end. At the end, it will ask you this question: do you wish the installer to prepend the Anaconda 3 installation location to your path in your home shornendu.bashrc file? Now, what this means is, if the path of the Anaconda directory is written in the bashrc file, or it's appended to the class variable called, or the environment variable called path, then you can open Anaconda based applications from anywhere. Otherwise, you will always have to go inside the directory and open the things. So of course you would want that. You would want to access Anaconda from wherever you are. So I'll just write yes and I'll press enter. So it thanks you, and then it will ask you to install the Visual Studio Code. Now if you wish to work with Visual Studio, that normally you can do that in Windows, but in Linux it's much more difficult to work with Visual Studio. But Anaconda provides a way to work with it. So do you wish to proceed with the installation of Microsoft VS Code? Let's say yes and see what happens. You ask for the password. And again, we have to wait a bit. Okay, so the installation has ended, and now we can use Anaconda. But before we go there, I want to show you something. remember that we modified a file called dash rc. So let's look into it. So it's in home dot dash rc. So you will see at the end of this file, it has been added by an Anaconda installer. It's appending the directory, the directory of the binaries of Anaconda 3 to the path. This will allow you to use Anaconda from anywhere. We also might need to source the -rc file to activate the like export call function call. So, now to check your installation, you can just try to open something from Anaconda. Say, let me open the spider environment. Okay, so this is the spider ID. This is the ID I will mostly use in my future videos where I will work with the application based on machine learning. I'll talk more about how you can efficiently use this IDE later. But right now what you need to see is the Python environment that's being shown is belongs to the Anaconda environment. So you can rest assured that Anaconda is installed. And okay, let me close this for now. You can also check the list of the packages installed. So these are the list of the packages installed, and you see that it's a lot of packages, and we'll be using a lot of them as well. Okay. So for working with the normal data science problems, you have almost all the packages that you need here. Now, if you want to move into deep learning, it gets a bit more complicated. In deep learning, you will mostly be depending on some kind of API or some kind of developing like development platform to your codes about, to say, convolutional neural networks or recurrent neural networks or LSTMs or things like this. Now, you may do not know these names right now, but again, I will have later videos explaining all these things. But right now, you just need to know that you need some API to work with deep learning applications. Now, some of the most common APIs are TensorFlow, Keras, Caffe, pytorch, torch, and there are also things like MXNet, then Deep Learning 4J. So these are all different APIs that you can use. I myself prefer pytorch. That's because of a few specific reasons. So what I believe one of the most commonly used APIs is TensorFlow, and I've used that before. But I felt that TensorFlow is better if you're building, enterprise level applications based on machine learning. From an academic research point of view, where you need to develop new kind of algorithms, or you have to develop flexible algorithms and not just depend on the already existing ones, it becomes much easier to work with PyTorch. Specifically because it's very easy to understand or interpret the modules that are involved while building this large models or large networks. And moreover, there is another thing called the dynamic computation graph. What the dynamic computation graph does is, so say you have a sequence of operations. In languages like TensorFlow, this sequence of operations is represented as a graph, as a computation graph, and this entire computation graph is loaded into the memory at the beginning of the program. What happens is, it becomes difficult to change this computation graph during the runtime, and that decreases the flexibility that you need while developing new kind of algorithms. in PyTorch, all this computation, the entire computation graph is built during the computation itself. Like as it goes on doing one operation after another, it will dynamically build the computation graph, and this allows you to change the computation graph during the runtime of the program. It's also very, as I said, it's also very easy to interpret all the intricate modules that you'll be connecting with each other to create your large networks. So to install PyTorch, we can go to its website itself. Before that, I will also like to show you something. You can try to see what are the pros and cons of the different APIs. So let's say comparison of deep learning frameworks. So I found this website, this Deep Learning Forge website, which has a nice summary of like these are all the frameworks that you can use. And if you see PyTorch, it's lots of modular pieces that are easy to continue, easy to write your own layers and run on GPU, and there are lots of pre-trained modules as well. You usually write your own training code. It's less plug and play, but this is something that you will need when you are doing academic research. But if you're building just applications, it's better to have certain like black boxes that you can just plug and play. Of course, there is no commercial support. As I said, it's good for academic research, and it's spotty documentation, but I have found it easy enough to understand. Whereas in TensorFlow, you can see that the computation graph abstraction, it's like mostly abstracted. We have a good visualization tool called TensorBoard, but I think there is also a plugin called TensorBoard X, which can be used with PyTorch. It has a faster compile times to Piano, but there is some negative things, like it's slower than other frameworks. It's much fatter than Torch and hence more magic. Not many pre-trained models and blah blah blah. There are also many other things, but you can read through that. I'm just not going to read all these things. So let's get on to the installation of PyTorch now. Now for using PyTorch with GPU, again, you have to ensure that you have installed the drivers of the graphics card beforehand. For that, check the link that I will be giving in the description below. I've done a video on that. And only proceed with installation after you have installed the Nvidia drivers. PyTorch can also work without Nvidia drivers or without a graphics card in the CPU mode, but your algorithms will be very slow, especially if you're working with neural networks. It will be very slow. So you go to the PyTorch website, and right in the first page, you will see that there are some selectors that you can select your operating system, Linux, Mac OS or Windows. So it's Linux. You have to select the package manager. pip is another common package manager, but conda is like it has everything at one place, so it's kind of nice. We have to select the Python version, so let me select the latest one, and CUDA. Now CUDA is a way to interact with your GPU. Now the GPU drivers is something that your hardware uses to you interact with the GPU, but for doing, for your programming language or for your APIs to build all this, say neural networks that is based on using the computational cores of the graphics card, you need the CUDA. Now CUDA gives access to parallelize your computations across all the processors and just send your data to the video memory and all these things. So let me select the latest CUDA version, and after you do that, it will give you this command that you can just run it in the terminal, which will install the PyTorch for you. So we'll copy it. So if you see that it's basically using the conda install command, so it's installing in the Anaconda environment. It will install packages called PyTorch. It will install torchvision and the CUDA driver. Another good thing is that you don't need to install CUDA separately. The PyTorch itself comes with everything, all the dependency that is needed. Otherwise, for other frameworks as well, you have to install the CUDA yourself. You have to also install something called CUDNN. But in PyTorch, everything is bundled together, and hence it's very useful. So I'll just copy it and I will paste in the. Let me go to home. Okay, I'll paste here and enter. So now Anaconda will do its magic and install all these things. Okay, so it's asking for a confirmation of the package that will be downloaded and installed. You can read through it and finally you have to press the Y and enter. And it will start the downloading process. Now we just have to wait for it. Okay, the installation is complete now, and right now we have to check if everything is working well or not. So for doing that, let's go into that spider environment once again. And right now, we'll see if our packages are installed. So let's just do import torch. Yes, torch is imported. Let's try to create some random sensor like say a equals to torch.sensor c cross 4. Okay. Oh. Okay. So it's working. Here we can create sensors. And we can also create the we can also create like random sensors and stuff. So the thing is, the torch is installed, and if you don't understand these things, it's okay. I will be doing new videos on everything like what's the basic of PyTorch, and then we'll start with say basic kind of machine learning applications, and we can move on to the more advanced topics later in more videos. And that's it for today. So you already have a machine that can build most of the machine learning algorithms that you see in front of you. I will also show you one thing, like if you want to start away building your own algorithms right now, you can always go to the GitHub, where you can find a lot of applications that are based on deep learning. Let me show you one. Say you want AlexNet. AlexNet is a kind of deep learning neural network. So let's see. You just search for them and you see that there are things. I'll talk more about PyTorch in my next video and give you the basics of it and how you navigate through the PyTorch environment. So thank you for today. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down and tell me how I can improve this video for you guys. Also, if you have any doubts or any queries, or if you want to see some new videos on some new topics based on artificial intelligence or machine learning or deep learning, feel free to write in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get the notifications. Have a very good day and thank you so much.